This is Animal Health Insider, where we bring you the real news, real insight, real voices from inside the industry.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Animal Health Insider. I'm your host, Julie Lawless from Lawless Comms, and I'm joined by my friends, my experts, the insiders, Dr. Beatrice Vos, who is the leader of Stonehaven Transactions, and Joe Harvey at S&P Global Animal Health. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hi there. Good to
Hello.
see you, Julie.
Good to see you.
It's great to see you guys, and I am super excited because this conversation we had was with Jack Bendheim, the chairman, president, CEO of Phibro Animal Health, and Jack's an OG. Like, Jack
Legend.
is legend. OG. I went back and looked. He's been part of Phibro since 1969. Which is amazing. And he's preparing to hand the CEO role to his son, Dani. So this conversation, we thought this would be timely because it's a lot more than just quarterly results or annual results, which have been amazing for them. But it's really about, we're going to talk to him about succession, culture, family, what it's meant to him to lead that company through decades of industry change. I'm guessing he's the longest running CEO of an animal health company.
Certainly one of the
so.
major ones. So recently we spoke to the most recent, the newest CEO to be employed by a major animal health company. And now we've spoken to the one that's been there, been in the top 10 and in around the top 10 for the longest.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, Paul Martingale, sorry, I should say, is the newest one.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Very bad.
indeed.
So we're getting through all of the top 10 CEOs.
Right.
But yeah, talking to Jack is always super interesting.
He is super interesting. And I think even just from a financial perspective, what he's done with the company, Beatrice, I mean, I think you told me they've crossed the $1 billion mark in the previous year.
25 was an amazing year for them. I mean, arguably the most successful animal health company last year. They had 27% growth compared to the prior year, which is, of course, amazing. Most of the large animal health companies are in the single digits. So that's great. They crossed the 1 billion mark. I think the acquisition of the medicated feed additives business from Zoetis was a real boost for Phibro. I think that's made a lot of sense, and I would think they regard that as a big success. And he's just such a nice and friendly and down to earth guy, right? I really enjoyed speaking with him. Very, very nice, and also very like future focused. He has a lot of thoughts about what he still wants to do with the company and where Phibro might grow into, a bit more into companion animals, maybe even outside the US. He's definitely not. I don't think he's retiring anytime soon. He will probably always stay involved in the business.
He'll definitely remain on the board. Yeah, that's a little bit on like, Jack, are you totally giving this up? And he I think he's still going to have his office there. So Donnie will still have him around.
Yeah, Phibro's so fascinating because I spoke to Jack maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And of course, it's not one of the big four. It's not multi-billion dollar corporation. But as Jack pointed out, if you take because Phibro predominantly focus on food animal, if you take the companion animal segment out of it, they are a major player in food animal. And especially now they've got the medicated feed additives from Zoetis. They announced last week, I think, that they're putting together a new sustainability portfolio, which is interesting because maybe only Elanco has really done that before because it's working with DSM, with Bovaer, and it's got Xperia as well. And now Phibro are going into that space. They're the real food animal specialists. Although, yes, Beatrice mentioned they are interestingly working on a companion animal portfolio as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they evolve as not one of the major players, but now an established billion-dollar player with global assets and a focus on innovation in pets, but also in sustainability as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting thread that they're pulling, and one that we've seen through some of our guests here on the Insider is this, leaning into livestock, leaning into kind of that farm animal side. And if you're in the US, that what the prices are. If you try to go buy a steak, it's it's kind of insane right now. And so there's really a need, I think, for that sustainability piece, the performance, productivity. That's a good space for them to lean into.
Yeah, and technology also, right? Like farming technologies, agricultural technologies that make it more efficient to manage your animals with less labor, right? Less workforce. They're very interesting companies emerging. iLivestock, a Scottish company, they have a brand new technology, how they weigh animals in the field, not only on farm, and like all kinds of also AI empowered technologies that make that more efficient and more innovative. Really, really interesting.
Come through a big wave of seeing the pet industry really push the wider animal health sector, especially during the COVID years. But now, and I know Rob Kelly at MSD is a big supporter of the variety that the food animal part of the market can bring to an animal health company. If poultry is doing well, swine might not be doing well, but at some point there is always a part of that market that is pushing the industry along. And then Beatrice, you're right, there's the different facets of innovation there. There's on-farm technology, there's pasture technology, there's vaccines, there's still the pharmaceuticals, the parasiticides as well, that there is so much opportunity for growth there. The growth has been less on the livestock side in the past, but the amount of startups we see getting funding, I think it's leaning more to food animal in the last few years as well. And you look at some of the acquisitions being made, big acquisitions being made in between the big animal health companies. Zoetis buying Neogen assets, Phibro buying MFA assets from Zoetis, Merck buying Elanco's aquaculture portfolio. There's still a lot of money going into that area, and if there are certain companies all focused on pets or more focused on pets, then that helps the companies like Phibro that have got a solid footing in the food animal space.
And it's interesting, I think, from a talent perspective, we've seen them recruit some longtime, great, talented people. Todd Armstrong leads their North American business. Kathy Vanetta is there in regulatory. So Jack is his son Dani's succeeding him, who's been around the business forever as CEO. So I think it's kind of this really nice storm of what's happening for Phibro. And one thing I think I'll point out as we get ready to go over and hear what Jack has to say is a lot of this conversation focuses on legacy, culture, family. He's got a really amazing, heart-tugging story to tell. And so I just, I think this is a really special episode, and I'm glad we're able to bring it to folks. Good. Well, thank you guys for your insight on Phibro. And let's go hear what Jack has to say.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
We are here today with Jack Bendheim, CEO of Phibro. Hi, Jack.
Hi, CEO for another 5 months, 4 months.
I know, you're inching really close to transitioning.
July.
I know exactly. July.
Well, our fiscal year starts in July.
Oh, okay, that's right.
So that was just a good place to start.
Well, I am so excited to talk to you. Beatrice and I have talked about this. We're like, ooh, if we can get Jack to talk about his legacy, maybe tell us some stories. I don't know. But we're here in London at Auntie EU. And so we want to just talk to you about a few things, how Phibro's doing. But I want to start by saying, I don't know if you remember this, but I came into Health for Animals to help with the communications team, and you were so kind to me. Like, you were I was in this room of 9 CEOs staring back at me when I had to present, communication team plans, and you were always so kind. So thank you for that. That's really,
Well, thank you for that, and that's the legacy.
that is
I
legacy.
think, obviously I've been in the business for 40 years. Um, it wasn't always animal health, but I think what has been constant is I think, we're a family, and we understand that everyone has families, and that's how we treat our people. And I can tell you a crazy story if you want.
I love a
Definitely.
crazy story.
Those are
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
So we acquired Zoetis's business, as you know, a year ago, November, and we took over 6 plants around the world, 4 plants in the United States,
Wow.
and 2 big manufacturing and 2 compounding plants in the States. And one of the things I like to do is I want to hear bad news, because I know that if you don't deal with bad news quickly, it becomes disastrous news. So I always want people to tell me. So the head of HR came in and told me that one of the employees in our Chicago Heights plant had died. And this employee had not worked 12 months for the company. And most of the insurances that you always have with an employee has to clock in sometime. And this employee was not subject to those insurances. So I asked her to find out, does the family have enough money to cover the burial? Because burial in the United States is not cheap. So we inquired, they didn't, and I told her, we'll pay for it. And we did. And then I got an amazing note back from the plant manager of that plant saying, in all the years working, he's never seen anything like that. And it wasn't done for that,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it was done recognizing this is a family under stress. And what's so important to them is not that important to us. I don't mean to say,
Perspective, right?
right. So that's coming to your question. That's a legacy I'm hoping to leave. I think that's how we try to run the business. It's more complicated today with 2,000 employees and $1.5 billion in sales compared to the $10 million of sales that were there when I started working in 1969, and no plants. But I think that's what we try to do, and I think we're successful as we can be, and I think for that reason, I got a note the other day. I saw a note that one of our employees in Illinois is celebrating her 25th
Wow.
year with us.
Yeah. That's unique these days.
It's very unique.
Yeah.
So I sent her a note and I said, wow, that's amazing. And I want to thank you for your efforts. And I've worked with you over these years and you've always done an amazing job. And she wrote back to me and she said, I've been so happy to work here. I'm so happy to come to work every day. So
Yeah.
that's the stuff that makes me cry. That's really,
Yeah. It touches your heart,
yes,
doesn't it? Yeah.
that kind of, because today people, obviously, if you want to earn more, you got to keep jumping. That's logical. But I think we try to treat our people well. And we have people who are working 25 years.
Nice. That says a lot.
It does say a lot. And you mentioned your transition come July. You are a family business. You're handing off CEO to your son. What do you think he'll carry on, or what do you think he'll do differently?
So there's no doubt he will do a better job. He'll do it differently than I did. Obviously, the business, as I said, is a lot bigger. It's more complex. But I am, he's been working for the company for over 20 years at this point. He knows it extremely well. So I'm excited for him. I'm excited for the company. And nice enough, he still left me my office. So
Wow, he's nice to his dad because
I'm not planning. I'm really not planning on going. I'm not really planning on going anywhere.
Are you going in every day?
I go in 4 days a week. I plan to continue going in 4 days a week.
Johnny's gonna be like, "Ooh."
I don't play golf. I play tennis in the summertime. I mean, this is what I do, and I'll do different things. But there's enough in the business we're in. There's enough exciting things going on to always look at new opportunities. And the business is doing great. We're going to an amazing time. The protein business for all of us is huge and getting better. I mean, it's not just the population growth, but what I think the major effect today is coming out of these GLP medicines. And, as you leave the doctor's office, he or she tells you, watch your protein levels. And it makes business stronger. And we're just beginning the GLP era. Prices will come down, consumption will go up. So I think I see a great opportunity for the industry and for us 10 years into the future. And we're doing well. I think we'll continue to do well.
That's a good segue to the next question. So that's 10 years into the future. If you look back, and you've been around for such a long time, you joined in 1969. What are the biggest shifts that you've seen in the industry since then?
So when I joined the business in 69, we were not doing anything with animal health or feed. I mean, our first foray into the business was in mid 1970s, we acquired a business in Israel that was manufacturing vitamin premixes for the local market. They had one export market, which was Iran, under the Shah.
Really?
We might be going back.
Yeah, you might be.
We might be going back.
We'll see by the time this airs. We're not sure. Yes.
They also had a license from Merck to manufacture nicarbazine, which is an anticoccidial product. And we took that and we started really growing that business to the point where we convinced Merck to stop production, and we have made a contract to produce for them, which was really our entry to the animal health business in the early 1980s. So my view since 1980s, clearly a tremendous amount of consolidation of the animal health companies. I mean, my first visit to AHI, there must have been 30 companies there.
Oh my goodness.
And, then it got down to about 10 companies. Now maybe we're back to 14, 15. But still, the top 5 companies represent 80% of the business in the United States. Here we are at Health for Animals tonight and tomorrow. It's 10 companies that meet and represent worldwide 60% of the animal health business. Now we have lawyers in the room, so nothing crazy happens.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned GLP-1 era, and you've mentioned sort of the consolidation of the industry. If you fast forward again 10 more years, is there something else, another trend or something around pets that you're seeing or picking up that you think might be the future?
I think, hearing Christian Peck speaking this morning, I mean, I think there is a bit of a worrying trend on the pet side. And we are just touching the pet business. We have 2, 3 products coming out now. It's an area that we'd like to grow in. As Dani puts it, we would like it to be the 4th leg on a stool. Right now, our stool is only on 3 legs, so balance, but
Yeah.
the 4th leg would be better. Um, but there is a pushback today from the consumers on the cost of going to the vet and the cost of the medicines. I mean, clearly, the business has changed from being a flea and tick business, which got more economic, to being a specialty business. I mean, the animals moved inside, moved into your bed. You worry about different things. You've gotten closer to the animal. So costs have gone up. I mean, in terms of products, but I think there is I think we've reached some sort of a cap right now. I mean, what's facing all of us, what's facing all of our kids is AI. And AI is a job eater. I mean, it will be a job creator. But right now, every day I hear from my grandkids that their friends are having a hard time getting jobs.
That entry level is
Entry
just
level
getting
is-
wiped out, isn't
right.
it? Yeah.
So when that's the case, and you have that little pet,
You can't afford
you
it.
can't afford it. You can't afford to do what everyone's been doing. So that will be a major change. Um, and that might have a big effect on everything else because development requires people paying yet more. That's right. For a product. On the production side, our customers will never pay for a product which costs them a lot more money, which does not do that much more,
It's true.
right?
Chicken's chicken. Yeah.
Effectively, getting a chicken healthier a day or 2 days earlier, it's never going to live longer than 4 or 5 weeks anyway. So it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
So you raised guidance. We've all seen very strong uptake from the medicated feed business that you bought from Zoetis. What would you say is driving this very positive momentum at the moment?
well, I think, the Zoetis acquisition was a terrific acquisition for us. It's a business we know very well. It's a business that I first tried to acquire when I bought the Pfizer MFA business back in 2000. Hoffman LaRoche was selling this business, most of these products, and I was not successful. Alpharma bought it. And then I started negotiating with Alpharma and was very close to acquiring the business from Alpharma. And then they sold the whole business to King Pharmaceutical. And then I was negotiating with King about this business because it's a unique business. It doesn't fit, it's there. And then over a weekend, Pfizer came back and bought King for a human product. They own the business again, this business. And then a few years later, they spun it out to Zoetis. So finally,
Persistence pays off,
the
Jack.
system finally pays off. So these products fit well. We're calling the same customers. Our salespeople, know these products. We do a good job of manufacturing. So that was taking costs out. That's part of the reason we're raising guidance. And the market is strong. So
You've talked a little bit about people and respect and honesty at Phibro, and we've heard you talk about that before. And you just said, hey, you're 2,000 people strong now. How will you protect that culture piece?
how will Dani?
How will Dani? Oh, that's a good question. Yeah.
I think it's a strong culture. I think it's a culture that is throughout the company. I can't give any great examples, but I think, when we all go down to the IPPE in Atlanta, we all stay in the same hotel. Right? Everyone has my number. Everyone has Dani's phone number or cell number or email. So it's not like we don't try to talk to everybody. And I think when you do that, you sort of close the barriers. We're not looking for high barriers in the company. People think, okay, there's a C-suite and we never get there,
No ivory tower.
right?
Yeah.
Or ivory tower.
Yeah.
So I think by doing that, people tell you their issues, and that's how you find out. And so I hope it continues.
So I end with a bit more personal question. When you look back to your many, many years in the industry, what's like the one thing you would say you are most proud of?
I was telling Tim Shelton before from the CBN, as we were talking and people coming by, competitors, I said, what's so nice about this business is the competitors don't hate each other.
It's really true. Yeah.
We respect each other. Obviously, we're competing all the time. We're trying to get their business. They're trying to get ours. But it's not with a vengeance. I think it's more on the human health side. Mm-hmm. On this side, it's not the case. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud that that's the nature, the culture of the whole business. And that will continue. I think that,
The industry is too small to hate each other, right?
one, is too small. And two, as we just said before, on the production animal side, the most you hope for is another complex because you never get 100% of the business 100% of the time because we're all dealing with products, their resistance builds up, and the customer needs to move on. So
That's right.
let's understand that. And yes, we'll get another complex. We'll get another couple of weeks. Fine. But, be honorable. And I think that's what drives a business.
Jack, thank you for taking time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's been amazing. And I guess we'll catch you on the tennis court come July.
Yes.
Take a little time.
Hopefully.
Play some tennis.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Hopefully.
Great. Thanks,
Enjoy it.
Jack.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.